Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa. Whoa. Stop destroying my game. What the hell? Woo! An elephant just destroyed the earth. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? I feel like a zookeeper. I know that looks nothing like me at all, but I rashly accept. I've just flown into the sky. What? What's going on? Right, I've got to place my avatar HQ. This is where other players will see my avatar and access any zoos or blueprints that I've shared. Get out of my zoo. Position my avatar anywhere on the globe. Okay then, I will. In the middle of the sea. That looks like a good place. Do I want to start in Britain? I'd rather be anywhere but Britain, to be honest. I think I might start in Spain. There we go. Achievement unlocked. Oh, funky music. I like it. So we've got a career mode, we've got a franchise mode, we've got a challenge mode, and we've got a sandbox mode. I will start my career in zoo management in a place, ironically, in Britain called Goodwin House. Renovated and renamed after its purchase by Bernard Goodwin in the 1980s, Goodwin House has since become one of the most respected zoos in the country. I can sort that out. More recently, it has undergone a further renovation to update many of the habitats and facilities, but due to various issues, the work hasn't quite been completed. Is it the COVIDs? Is it a COVID-related issue? I'm going to put it on easy difficulty because otherwise everything will die. That's pretty much guaranteed. Meanwhile, it's all gone a bit Irish jig. I'm worried about the bears though. I have enough problems with bears in 7 Days to Die without them also being in this. Whoa! Whoa! Areas in shelter are cooler in hot weather and warmer in cold weather. Sounds like shelters wouldn't be a bad thing. For me, not for the animals, just for me. Ooh. Hey, this is nice. This is all a bit posh. Actually looks like a university rather than a zoo.
Heyo at Hematu. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have a habit of slipping back into the Planko language.
Do you? Do you, Bernie?
It's good to finally meet you in person. I'm Bernard, although I insist you call me Bernie. The only person who calls me Bernard is my wife. And even then, only when I've tracked elephant dung into the carpets. As you know, I own several zoos, but I always like to show people the ropes here at my home. This is the first zoo I ever opened, and a source of great pride for me. And
food shops.
Thanks to a lion breeding program we ran in the 80s. But we're in the middle of a big renovation, and that's where you come in. Sadly, our old contractor had to retire after developing
I thought you meant sadly, that's where I come in then.
Poor devil kept sneezing his dentures into the lion habitat. So, it's up to you to finish everything off.
And finish everything off I
Don't
will,
worry,
Bernie, I
though.
can promise you.
I'm not completely throwing you in at the deep end. My head keeper, Nancy Jones, will be lending a helping hand. Oh, she's a hard worker, and she'll expect you to be too. But I'm sure you'll get along like a house on fire, or even better, one that isn't on fire. Less shouting that way.
By the time I finish Bernie, everything will be on fire. It looks amazing.
Hello there.
This is beautiful.
From that
Oh, hello.
rosy, fresh face of yours, I'm guessing you're Bernie's new hire.
Hiya.
Good. Now, I hope you're ready to ditch your diploma because we're about to get really hands-on.
I ain't getting hands-on
But
with
before
dung.
we begin
I
the
just want to
real
clarify
work,
that.
How about we familiarise you with the zoo by learning how to fly around it and visiting some of our beautiful animals.
I like the idea of
We'll
flying.
start by popping over and having a look-see at the grizzly bears in their habitat.
Oh, not bears again. What is it with the bears? Right, locate the grizzly bear habitat. I don't want to go near the
Did you
bears,
know
but this
that
does look like
grizzly
it.
bears, also known as Ursus arctos horribilis, can hibernate for up to 7 months a year. Oh, but then again, given the chance, I think a lot of people would do that too.
I really, really hope they just hibernate. Because otherwise I'm just going to end up dead.
And you'll bring up its information panel.
You. Are you a zombie bear?
This
Oh,
is where
nearly.
you can find out all kinds of information about your animal. The most important thing being its overall welfare. You'll learn more about animal welfare today as we go through your objectives. But for now, let's enjoy this magnificent animal. Why don't you select the camera at the bottom of its information panel?
I shall activate the animal camera. No!
See now, this is a fantastic way to get a close look at your animal.
This is a fantastic way to get
This view
eaten.
of an animal by simply double-clicking on it.
I'm sure all the advice says don't double click on bears.
Okay, when you're ready, let's pop over to the other side of the zoo and take a look at the lions. I've marked their location for you to find.
Good, right, how do I get out of this though? How do I get out of this? Because at the moment I seem to be stuck on bear cam. Oh, I see. I can just drag back. By the looks of things. Okay. Right. Lions, you say? All the dangerous stuff. It's over here. This place reminds me of a stately home I went to once. I imagine lots of stately homes look roughly similar to this. Owned by the Marquis of something or other, I think. I can't remember. But anyway. I think he died relatively recently as well.
Panthera leo. All the West African lion to you and me. Lions are the most social of the big cats, and there can be as many as 40 lions in a pride, although prides of that size are pretty rare. As Bernie would say, those lions are awesome, which is precisely why I handle the training instead these days. Anyway, how about we get started on those objectives? Come on, let's head over to an empty habitat and see what needs doing there.
Oh, nobody told me this would be work. Boo! Right. Head over to an empty habitat. Like this one here? What could we put in here? Zombies. Let's put some zombies in it.
As you can see, it's a lovely space for animals, but it's missing a certain something.
Animals.
Well, two somethings. Warthogs. So I'd like you to adopt a pair of them. To adopt animals, we need to open the animal market, which is in the animal trading section.
Oh man, there's an animal market? Is this even legal?
There we are, a pair of perfectly splendid warthogs for our zoo. Just click on them and select Adopt from the side menu.
Okay.
Normally the animal exchange would be full of animals, but I've emptied out the market while you learn how it works. The last thing I need is you accidentally ordering a dozen elephants.
I can promise you, Nancy, I will accidentally
When
order
you
a dozen
adopt an animal,
elephants.
it's automatically placed in the trade centre, where they're held until you're ready to move them into their habitat, which, as it happens, you are. So how about you move them into their new home?
Send to zoo. I mean, do I need to put them in here? I could kind of accidentally put them in the public
When you
areas.
ask for an animal to be moved into a habitat, your caretakers will go to the trade centre, collect your animal, and deliver them to your selected habitat.
Customs
I've
seizure.
marked the trade centre's location, so let's go and watch the caretakers in action.
This is like getting something through from China off AliExpress. Anyway, right, so, customs centre. She's marked it. She's marked it, apparently. Are you sure? Are you sure you've marked it? Oh, there. Oh, it's tiny. Animal Trade Centre and Quarantine Small 1. Looks like a toilet.
Well, as you can see, those caretakers don't hang about. They'll move those animals to their destination as fast as possible. Of course, normally we'd have to place the animals into quarantine before moving them into a habitat, but I am assured by a person of good standing that these warthogs are in the very rudest of health.
If they've got the COVIDs, I'm coming
Right,
after you, Nancy.
Let's get the warthogs' habitat finished up so we can keep them nice and happy. You see, each animal in the zoo has an overall welfare statistic, basically how happy they are. And that overall welfare statistic is itself comprised of 4 different areas: nutrition, social health, habitat, and enrichment.
It's not very
Luckily,
enriched.
If you select an animal, you'll bring up their animal welfare information panel, which we saw earlier, where you can see how they're doing. That way, you'll know exactly what areas need to be addressed.
Food.
Don't worry if that's a lot to remember. You can always check the Zoopedia for more information.
They need food. How do I do the food? Food is important.
Let's start by making sure we're taking care of the warthog's nutrition welfare.
Yes.
To do this, we'll need to place a food station and a drinking station. Now, each animal requires a different type of feeding station. And for the warthogs, it's a small feeding trough. So let's add one of those and a water bowl.
Okay. Habitat. Oh. Oh god, warthogs make me sneeze, apparently. Right, this looks like a water bowl. So, like, do I have to put it somewhere? Presumably they don't want a water bowl in their sleeping area. But equally, do they want a water bowl near all these people staring at them? It's an excellent question. I'll just pop it in the middle there. I'll just pop it in the middle. Do you want another one? Have another one. And then they want a food trough. What if I put that in the middle of the water thing?
Animals also require stimulation to keep them happy.
Yeah, I don't think we want to know
Let's
about
add
animal
a
stimulation.
lovely
Family
mud bath
channel.
for the warthogs to roll around in. That bath will
Glorious
count
mud.
towards their enrichment welfare, specifically their toy enrichment welfare.
I'm going to put that here because then people can watch it. Does that make sense? I have no idea how to look after warthogs.
Oh, nice work. You've got a knack for this, I see. Now, our contractor had to leave in a hurry, so this place is in a feral state. Unfinished thingamajigs and whatsits all over the shop.
There's nothing
But the
worse than
first thing
unfinished
we need
thingamajigs,
to
is there?
finish is the Ostrich Habitat. It's over near the hippos.
Ostrich Habitat is over near the hippos. I can't believe that they've let me do all of this quite as soon. I mean, like, I'm no good with theme parks. I'm definitely not going to be any good with animals, am I?
Oh, before we actually start building our ostrich habitat, let's pause the game. Just click the pause button in the bottom right corner.
I have paused the game.
That's more like it. A quick break. Sometimes it's a good idea to pause the game whilst you're doing something which requires your concentration, because it'll stop the zoo spinning out of control while you're looking the other way. Let's keep the game paused while we get this ostrich habitat built.
Wow, they're actually
Okay.
saying to pause
Job
it.
number one here is
That's
to
cheating.
add a habitat gate before we complete the barrier. Every habitat needs a habitat gate. After all, how else would the keepers get in and out? Just make sure it's hooked up to the path so the keepers can reach it.
Well, they'll get in and out by the fact that they can literally just walk off the road. I get the impression I'm going to need some sort of fence. Right, habitat gate. Otherwise known as a zombie door. Obstructed.
Right.
There we
Let's
go.
complete
Ah!
the perimeter barrier so we can adopt us some ostriches. I've marked out an area for you to use, so I'd like you to finish off the perimeter using the brick barrier.
I can do that.
Good
Check it out.
work.
Better than The Sims.
Remember, before you can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier. Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder.
Maybe I don't want them
But
to.
seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
Okay, this looks like glass, I think. So, if I take this and... No. Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god. How high can these go? That's ridiculous. Anyway, right, I'm not doing this correctly at all. Highlight a section of barrier. I seem to be trying to build a section of barrier here. Highlight a section of barrier. Because like I feel like it should be this section of barrier. Highlight a am I going stupid? Highlight a section of barrier. I would very much like to do that. How about that? Oh, do I have to do one at a time? Is that what it is? No? Hang on. Hang on. I can't even see stuff. It's blocking my thing. Transparent and not climbable sounds good. Right, hang on. What am I doing? What am I doing here? No. This isn't what I want. This isn't what I want. Not at all. Highlight a section of barrier. I seem to have highlighted the whole barrier. Highlight a section of barrier. I'm trying to highlight a section of barrier. Right, I've highlighted a section of barrier. And I want it to be glass. It says outside placement area. Oh no! Okay, it hasn't taken me very long to screw up here immediately. Replace a section with glass. Habitat gate. That looks like glass, but I can't actually see. And that's definitely a wall, but that looks like glass to me. So, I can't see any other way of doing it. Yep. Yeah, that's really, really tempting. Don't do that, Jenny. Don't do that. Oh, right. That's now highlighting. But it's not... Right, I've now highlighted it. I understand that now. But, how do I replace it with... Gates, barriers. I can't bloody see. That's the problem. I can't see. Can I delete it and replace it? Oh, Nancy, I feel like a bit of a prat. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Does that say glass? It looks like it says glass. Because it's transparent and not climbable. But how do I replace it?
Good work.
It's not good work.
Remember,
haven't done
before you
anything.
can place animals in any habitat, it has to have a full loop of connected barrier.
Yep, I did that.
Now, you've probably noticed that guests can't actually see into this habitat at the moment. At least not without a stepladder. But seeing as they're banned, I'd like you to select a piece of barrier and swap out the brick for a glass barrier, so the guests can see in.
I just feel like a prat. What am I not doing here properly? So there's a selection of barrier.
There we go.
Ah!
Adding in
Oh!
more windows gives guests even more opportunities to see the animals in a habitat.
Why couldn't I do
It's
that one?
always best to make sure the guests can get a good view into a habitat
I've
from
done
the
it now.
path they're walking on, because it makes them happy, and because this would be a pretty terrible zoo if they couldn't.
It's going to be a terrible zoo anyway.
The last thing we need to do is to add a donation box. You see, when guests enjoy the view of an animal, they'll make a donation. Just make sure you put them in easy-to-reach places, like near a
Like
viewing
here.
point. Donation boxes are one of the main sources of income for the zoo, so make sure you
How about on
remember
the
them.
corner?
Now, before we adopt our ostriches, you should click the play button. After all, if the game's paused, then so are our caretakers, which will make it a bit tricky for them to deliver the ostriches, eh?
Right, I've done that.
By the way, as well as pausing the game, you can speed the game up by clicking on the fast forward button.
I should probably not do
It'll
that.
run everything at 2 times and 5 times faster. It can be useful, especially if you're waiting for money to accumulate or for animals to be delivered to your habitat. Personally, I use it when I'm waiting for a brew to finish.
People!
All right, you've finished the habitat, so it's high time we adopted those ostriches, don't you think? Let's get 4 of them in here.
People, give me your money! Give me your money! Give me your money. Anyway, I'm going back to the illegal animal trading market. Oh, this is so weird, isn't it? When you think about it, it's a bit weird. Anyway, there we go. Bunch of common ostriches. Open animal storage to place the ostriches in the zoo. Okay, so send to zoo. I will pop them by the viewing area. They've all been seized by customs. I better not get charged extra. I'm just going to put them all in this corner.
While we wait
There
for
we
them
go.
to be collected by the caretakers and brought to the habitat, you should get it ready for them. Add a suitable feeding station, water station, and an appropriate food enrichment item.
I will put in an
It's often
appropriate
best
food
to place
enrichment
things
item.
like enrichments and feeding stations near to the habitat perimeter, so guests can get a really good view of the animals.
Feeding. Food bowl. Water trough. Right, how do I turn things actually? How do I turn things if I want to turn them? Oh, I'm sure I'll find that out soon. Oh, I've won a thing. Hey!
Oh, good to see the ostriches have somewhere they can really stretch their legs. Did you know they can actually run at 43 miles per hour?
Oh god, it's worse than
Oh,
bears.
heaven
Whoa!
forbid they ever
Whoa!
escape.
Whoa!
The speed camera fines alone would bankrupt us.
Yeah, you're hilarious, Bernie.
Well, Bernie certainly seems impressed. Did you do his speed camera joke?
Don't throw
Every
the ostriches!
time we get an ostrich.
Don't throw the ostriches! What are
Now
you
we've
doing?
made the ostriches' lives a bit better. Let's do
We
the
haven't.
same for the keepers, shall we? To make it easier for the keepers to feed the ostriches and hippos, we should build a new keeper hut. Keeper huts are where the keepers prepare the food for animals, so they should be placed near to the habitats to make sure the keepers don't waste their time walking when they should be looking after the animals.
Keep huts sounds good to me. That sounds like a food thing. Place a keep. This is irritating. What? Right. Anyway,
You'll need
That's
to
a
rotate the keeper
small one.
hut to get it to connect up to the path.
what's the difference between the two, other than one of them being more expensive than the other by £5? What if I put it? Can I put it like somewhere here? Because My gate is there. Can I put it anywhere around here? Over here? Where am I supposed to be putting this? Is she telling me where I should be putting it? Oh, there. There? There. Invalid rotation. The problem is I don't know how to rotate. Is it that? No. Can I do it with... No. Uh-oh. How do I rotate things? Oh, hang on. It's telling me. Hold down Z. Hey, there we go. That looks about right. Is it right? Am I right?
This keeper hut only has space for one keeper, but the larger keeper hut can allow multiple keepers to prepare food at the same time.
I'd have put the gate over there if I'd realised.
Bear in mind that keeper huts and other staff facilities shouldn't be placed near to areas where there are lots of guests.
It's like Park
Guests
Architect.
don't like seeing facility buildings, and it can affect their happiness negatively. In case that wasn't clear.
Right, so do not put a drink
Something that
stall
all
opposite
facilities,
the
shops,
shed.
and a whole host of other objects need is power.
Oh,
And
no.
that obviously includes your newly built keeper hut.
Obviously.
So let's place a transformer next to it, shall we?
Oh, gods. I've got to deal with power as well.
Now, the reason
More
everything has gone blue
power!
is because you're using the power heat map. This
It's
map
like city
allows you to
skylines.
see what is and what isn't powered in your zoo. So once you've placed your transformer, you can click in the bottom left to turn the heat map off.
Okay, so it's telling me to place it here whether I like it or not. More power! Invalid rotation of raw power! No, okay. No, outside placement area. Oh god, what have I done wrong here?
Lovely
There,
work.
now! Yes!
Now the keepers can start using the hut to prepare food, and thanks to where you've put it, they won't need to walk very far to deliver it to the ostriches and hippos.
The hell was group
Let's get on to
192?
our next objective then. Bengal tigers. We
Tigers?
want to adopt some, but I'm afraid there's nothing ready for them yet. Head on over to the plot of land I've marked out. It's not too far away.
Right, I'm just looking at this and I get it. Right, that looks like... Is that a staff path? So the people won't see this because it's on a staff path. And that's why I couldn't put it over here. Or I could have put it over here, but obviously when the game lets me, but it wouldn't be a good idea because people would see it. Should we move to a dude? Oh, security guard. Okay. This is Delma, who is exploring Habitat 12. Ooh, okay. Right, what am I doing? What am I doing? Locate the highlighted area. It's over here.
Righty, your next job is to build a habitat from scratch.
Yeah, great.
And concrete and glass, I expect. So
Yeah.
go ahead and build it. Just make sure that the habitat includes that big hole we've dug. Oh, and don't forget to add a habitat gate to the barrier.
Okay, so...
Oh, and make sure the guests will be able to see the tigers.
They'll be able to see the tigers. Maybe I could make it so that the guests actually have to go in with the tigers. That would be quite funny. Anyway, right. So, do I have to put this in first? Why? Oh, can you only do it one bit at a time? Is that why I'm getting confused? Right, okay, it's fine. So if I do it brick up to there, and then I put some glass in, like more than one viewing area, yeah? That makes sense to me, I think. Obstructed. Nope. There? No, obstructed. Outside placement area. It goes blue when I do that. Uh-oh. Right, what am I doing? There, no, there. Why can I not... Oh. Trust me to end up with flappy problems. Right, it seems to be okay. Have I gone one too far? The problem is actually I don't know how to delete again. So, what if I want to get rid of that because I've realised I've gone too far? Where is, like, bulldozer? Actually, where is bulldozer? She hasn't pointed out where my bulldozer is. Can I just hit delete? Ah, I can just hit delete. Right, okay, so if I do it this way instead. Okay, now the tigers can't get out, at least. That's always a plus. There we go. So what if I put, like, glass in quite a lot? Oh, this little train. Choo choo. There we go. I don't know how much glass is good for the sort of structural integrity of this. Because it might be I put too much glass in and they get out. Which would be frankly hilarious. But there we go. Right, you can properly see in. So I now need a gate. Oh, hang on. That's not right. Barriers, gates, habitat gate. So the habitat gate will need to go somewhere near a keeper thingy. Is that a keeper thingy? That's a power station. Is there a staff path around here anywhere? I can't see one. Are these keeper thingies? What if I put it
now
there?
Now the habitat is in place, don't forget to put down a donation box near to your viewing areas. We need every dollar we can get. Especially as these tigers aren't exactly eating instant noodles for lunch.
Well, maybe they should be. They're cheap. Oh, I've lost it. I've lost it. I've lost my dollar thing. Utilities, viewing spots. Just click on all. Oh, there it is. Donation box. Right. So I can put a donation box in on this corner, maybe? No, it doesn't fit. How about just across from? No. 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 How about down here? Just in the middle of the path.
Okay,
how about
that's
there?
The habitat
Okay.
boundary complete. The habitat
What
gate
I
in
want another
place,
one.
And most importantly, the tigers won't be able to jump out of it anymore. I think it's time we adopted those tigers.
Oh God. Well, it's all going to go really wrong now, isn't it? Let's be honest. Right. Okay. Where is the dodgy animal market? I hope we're not importing these from somewhere that's got the COVIDs. Put tiger in hole.
Whilst our trusty
There we go.
caretakers collect and deliver the tigers, let's take a look at preparing the habitat for their arrival.
I'm getting used to this
We'll
now.
start with the basics. Add a suitable feeding station for them.
Food. Right. So now I know how I can do my food thing. What if I put that by the glass bit?
This time, instead of adding a water bowl, let's try something different. Some animals need a pool in their habitat so they can go for a swim, but they can also use it to drink from. All you have to do is make sure the banks of the pool have a gentle slope so they can easily get a nice, refreshing drink. There's already a pool excavated, but you still need to fill it with water. You should do that by going into terrain and selecting the water tool.
Terrain. Terrain. Terrain over here. Okay, so this is like Architect, isn't it? This is like Architect. So we've got snow. We could have snow. We could have auto paint. Or we can have water, so it's
Yes,
valid.
that'll do nicely. Of
Valid
course, just
water.
like the warthogs and ostriches, these tigers will also need some enrichment. Why
God, they
don't
can
you add
run.
some suitable toy and food enrichment items into their habitat?
Because I don't want them to be playing with toys. I want them to be being tigery. I don't feel like I've put very much water into this. They seem to like it, but I don't feel like I've put very much in. Oh well, so be it. Okay, so frozen blood pumpkin and a rubbing pad. There's nothing like a good rubbing pad, is there? I mean, I don't know why I'd want tigers to be rubbing themselves near to the public, but I don't know what a frozen blood pumpkin is. That sounds disgusting.
Okay, it's really starting to take shape. Now, the tigers will need a shelter in their habitat so they can hide from the guests, or more likely the bad weather. Although given that we're in England, you might want to think of that just as normal weather. Go on, add a shelter to their habitat. You can either
Okay.
build one from various suitable bits and bobs, or if you like, just pop down the blueprint that I've already built for you.
I do like the idea of popping down the blueprint. God, they're growling. I don't think that's good. What have you done to my
Poor
blood
lambs.
pumpkin?
I'm sure it can't have escaped your attention that the tigers look a bit miffed. That's because they aren't too keen on the type of terrain in their habitat.
That is a
Select
miffed
a
tiger.
and bring up its information panel.
You, what's wrong with you?
Righty.
Caviar.
Click on the terrain tab. That way you can view the terrain information and see how they feel about the different types of terrain. That'll tell you what the tigers need more of or less of in this habitat.
Right, how do they feel? How do they feel about the terrain? I think I'm still in the lake here. Terrain. I mean, they don't feel very happy at all, do they? That's the problem. They don't like it because it's got no plants. It's got no plants, so they are not very happy about that. Right. It says open the terrain tab. Oh, sorry, the terrain tab up here.
Open the terrain editing tool, select painting, and give them some more soil. Yes,
Oh, I saw that.
should
I saw
help
that.
with the habitat part of their welfare.
Soil heavy. Soil light. Do you want some heavy soil? Near your blood pumpkins. Oh, hello. Ooh, I like this. Okay. I hope you're donating, balloon people. Oh god, the balloons fly away. This is Parkitect. Can I burst them? I want to burst the balloons. Never mind the tigers. Right, are you happy now? I don't think they're very happy. I think I've got unhappy tigers. That's not a good thing. Look at them running through their dirt. Do they want it all dirt? They don't want a grassy home. I hope this is right. I might be doing something completely wrong here. Do they not like grass at all? I will degrass it. Degrassy high. Don't write in. You see, I don't want it completely soily because, you know, I just don't. We'll put some light soil in some of it as well. Right, are they happy now? She hasn't come back, so I'm going to assume that they're not. Increase terrain welfare to 100%. How close are you now to being terrained? Animal now needs more grass. Damn it! Okay, that was bad. Grass short. Okay, have some more grass short.
Right then.
Oh, that's nice
All
and green.
animals
There we
need
go.
Plants and trees from their own biome or continent. You know, deserts, savannas, Eurasia, Europe, that sort of thing. It looks like these tigers need a few more plants in their habitat. To get a perfect fit, use plants from the rainforest and temperate biomes that are native to Asia. Although if you have to, you can get away with using just one or the other. The tigers will also want a certain amount of their habitat to be covered by those plants. To find out which plants to use and how many, select a tiger and go to the Environment tab.
Sorry, I'm just creating a golf course. Right, anyway. Oh no, I've put too much grass in now. No! Oh! That was stupid. Sorry, let me degrass it again. I got distracted. There we go. Right, okay. So, plants. Open the
Now,
environment tab.
As you can
Plants.
see, some of the plants currently in the habitat aren't quite right for the tiger, like the wattle bushes. You can remove them if you want.
What's a wattle bush? Oh, it's one of those. Oh,
You can
remove.
find all of the plants you need in the nature section, and you can use the filters to only show the types of plants you want to see. In this case, that's
Whoa.
plants from the rainforest or temperate biomes.
Biome. Temperate. Or rainforest. I'm not seeing rainforest in my thingy. Property. Theme. Oh god. There's going to be loads of DLC, isn't there? Foliage type. Oh, I don't know. I'll go with temperate. I mean, is it tropical? Is tropical also a thing? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's give them a banana palm. Banana palm. No, have I got the wrong thing? How about a Bengal bamboo? That sounds like something a tiger would like. How about also an elm? Whoa! A gigantic elm tree. Maybe covering the wall? Look, I'm doing something right here, I think. Right, we've got lots of plants now. Don't growl at me, for God's sake. Right. So, increase plants' welfare to 90%. Plants' welfare. Is that a plant? Is that a plant? Get in.
They say that good fences make good neighbors. I guess that's doubly true when one of the neighbors is a Bengal tiger. Still, those tigers look so happy that I doubt they'd leave. Even if you did poke a hole in their fence.
I would poke a hole in their fence.
Oh, but for heaven's sake, don't test that theory.
Right.
Okay.
Let's head over to the Indian Peafowls. I've been told that we need to improve their social welfare.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm unlocking all the things. So what I end up with is just loads of menus that I don't need. So let's get rid of that and get rid of the bushes and go over here. I really want to do a watery bit, but this looks kind of cool.
Just find one of the Peafowls and select them to open their information panel. Then we can have a good gander at how they're doing. Although technically, I suppose gandering would just be for geese.
Right, this is one of the peafowls.
Expand their social welfare and we can get a bit more detail.
Social welfare.
Now, they've clearly got plenty of space and they're not stressed, but it looks like their social group isn't quite right. So let's find out more.
It's the
Click on
COVID.
the social tab
social
at the top of their
distancing.
information panel to see what's wrong.
They're social distancing. They're getting everything right.
Right. As you can see, the peafowls need their population to be larger. To solve this little problem, you'll need to adopt 3 more female peafowls. Off you pop
Peafowls.
to the animal market then.
Right, back to the illegal trading market. I mean the animal market. Right, I need some adult ones. So how do I make sure that they are adults? Adult. Good. I'm assuming I need all of these. I just want to make sure it's not trying to catch me out. There we go. Right, success. Plonk it in. I do like this habitat. This is awesome. They're amazing peafowls, if you know what I mean. Okay, plonk that down, and then I'm just going to put it in maze so it can't get out.
Peafowls. I expect they'll be delivered soon. But sadly, it sounds like our snow leopard is a bit grumpy. Let's head over there and see what's wrong with her.
There is nothing worse than a grumpy snow leopard.
Just like
I like the
people,
glass here.
Animals can
This is
suffer
good.
from stress if things aren't quite right. You know, like when you see someone put in the milk before the tea bag. In the case of these snow leopards, they're a bit stressed by their lack of privacy. You can lower their stress levels by swapping out the normal glass barrier by their cave for one-way glass. It's not a cheap option, but I think they're worth the expense, don't you? This will give the snow
okay.
leopards somewhere to go when they want to get away from the prying eyes of the guests.
The thing is, though, you could like just shove in brick, couldn't you? So right, anyway. So swap the glass for one-way glass. One-way glass. I still haven't quite got this barrier thing, have I? Do I do like that? Like that? No. Yeah. No. No. One-way glass. Oh God. I don't quite know what I'm doing now. What am I doing? I don't know. Oh, it's all going wrong. Ah, no. Right. I've selected the bit that looks like it should be one-way glass. Why am I so bad at walls? This is just a general question.
Of course, when an animal isn't in its natural
Didn't mean to do
biome,
that.
it's
I
probably
didn't mean
going
to do
to
that.
be too hot or too cold.
I didn't mean to do that.
Surprisingly, for the snow leopards, it's too hot. Even with the terrible British weather, you should help cool it down by adding some coolers to their habitat. But let's start by opening up the temperature heat map and having a look-see at the temperature in the leopard's habitat.
Okay. Heat maps attract zombies, as we all know. So I need to get away from getting this horribly wrong. Open the heat maps. Ah, we've got a City Skylines type
As
map
you can
thing
see,
here.
we already have one cooler in there. Let's pop some more down and get as much of the habitat as chilly as we can. Luckily for us, this habitat already has power, but you'll need to make sure of that in the future. Just so you know, if any part of a habitat is powered, then the whole habitat will be powered.
Right. I'm going to guess that roasted snow leopard is not a great idea. How many more do we
heat maps
need?
for all sorts of helpful things, so do be sure to explore them and make good use of them.
all the people walking past can
It'll
be really
take a little
cold now
while
as well.
for the temperature to adjust once you've added coolers or heaters. But now we've got the coolers in, we can address the leopards' terrain welfare. You see, what the leopards really want in here is snow and rock. So let's make that happen.
Okay, I can definitely make it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Except I can't see anything because I've got my map on. There we go. Okay, so if I make it very snowy round here. Actually, I need to find the snow leopard because I need to know whether it's okay or not and whether it thinks this is all right.
Now then, all of that should give you
it's
a
all
pretty
right.
good understanding of how to make animals happy. So I'd like you to go and check on all the other animals in the zoo and fix up any issues with their habitats.
Oh God.
That'll increase the average welfare of the animals across the whole zoo. And that average welfare is a very important statistic.
Because we get money for it, yeah?
Now, to quickly see how all your animals are doing in the zoo, you should go into zoo management and then into the animals section.
Okay, right.
Not bad.
So,
Not bad at all. I think it's fair
I haven't
to
done
say
anything.
that you've passed the first part of your training with flying colours.
I
There's
haven't
still
done
lots
anything.
more
Brilliant.
to learn,
Go me.
but we'll have to head to another one of Bernie's zoos for that. If you want to grab your passport, we'll head off, shall we?
well, wow, it turns out I'm quite good with animals. Not really,
Sounds
am
like
I?
you've
Oh,
got
hello,
the
Bernie.
whole zoo purring away nicely. Well, purring, grunting, screaming, booming. All the appropriate noises. I guess I was right to hire you, huh?
No, you weren't.
Don't tell her I told you, but Nancy wasn't sure you'd even last the morning.
No, neither was I.
So, we're happy this is working out. And Nancy owes me a foxy coffee.
Is that an euphemism for something?
As strange as it seems, considering we just met, when I look at you, I feel like you're the child I never had. After the one I did have, obviously.
That's not creepy as hell or anything.
But you see, zookeeping's not for my daughter. Don't get me wrong. Emma absolutely loves
Bet she doesn't like getting her
but
hands dirty.
She set her sights somewhat higher. Wants to save the entire planet. I'll just settle for saving a couple of species. Oh, and maybe having a type of frog named after me.
Like, hoppius, irritatingus. Yes, that would be ideal for you, sir, wouldn't it? Also, I'd like to know how to get ducks on that pond. I'm serious. By the end of this, I want ducks on that pond. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to be carrying on with this because, unfortunately, it looks like Jurassic Park is going to cause me some copyright-related issues, which sucks. But I think we can all agree that this will be lovely anyway. The graphics are great, actually. I didn't think it would look as good as this. But it's very nice. I'm interested to see what else is in other countries, rather than it being a British stately home environment. So, hopefully you will join me and I will try to get a wider selection of animals into my next zoo. Maybe I could sneak in a couple of dinosaurs, eh? You never know. They might be available. I'm sure they probably aren't. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again very soon.